Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good?
What's
It's midnight,
going
man.
on?
Yeah, we old as hell, but we still up.
Late,
Still
late,
trying.
late night stuff.
Yeah, we got to get this show in, man. Technical difficulties on both ends. But we finally got everything up and running. So we're gonna knock y'all out with a quick 30-minute show, try to get over in 30. But y'all know what we do on Friday, Falcon Friday wrap-up shows, man. We give y'all our thoughts on some topics. Injury report, quick thoughts on, going into Sunday. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, I know what it is, man. Shout out to y'all, man, for turning up for that live stream I did earlier today about Billy Bowman, about this Falcons news. Shout out to y'all, man. But
Mm-hmm.
what's good, man? Sound like you
Oh,
on the go.
oh man, yeah, out here on the go, man, doing some things, trying to get my behind ready for this game coming up. Coming up for this game on Sunday, man. It's gonna be interesting seeing who's showing up, seeing who's gonna be available. Smitty, we may have to go suit up, man. I don't know if the Falcons are gonna have enough on the sideline to be, cover the game.
Damn, on my old ass suit up, they'll be in trouble, boy. I'm telling you. Telling you. They'll be in trouble fucking with me. I'm just
Well,
good.
well, Smitty, we already in trouble, so how it
I'm
can't get
just
any
good
worse,
for the
right?
water cooler. That's it. I'm just good for the
Oh,
water cooler. I'm gonna just be honest with you, bro.
wow, man. Yeah,
Yeah, man. That's about all I'm good for, bro. But yeah, man. Earlier, as I told y'all on the injury report, um, Billy Bowman, Achilles injury, and we know Achilles injury not nice because Kirk Cousins just coming off Achilles injury, so it won't be nothing nice. But that was the big news of the day. Also, man, we're gonna just give
happening.
y'all
Walk
this
through.
and walk through
All
that.
they were
Now,
doing was walk through.
and see that to me, I think that's a bunch of bullshit, man. I just can't see nobody fucking Achilles up just by walking. He had to be doing
I
something
mean,
bullshit plan or something. Come on, man.
I feel like it might just be something that's trickling from the hamstring.
Yeah, yeah,
Hamstring
just
probably
went
wasn't
down.
wasn't
Yeah,
100%.
right.
Came back out there, trying to play, and it don't trickle down to something else. And
Which
and
tell
just man,
which tell you it's
bro,
probably a grade 2 or grade 3 hamstring.
my thing is, I'm just saying, like, what are the strength and conditioning coaches doing? Because I mean, I've been
Spending
cool
my
on
money.
them, but I'm ready, but I gotta call them out. I'm like, man, it's too many guys that are dealing with injuries. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that they're the best in the business as far as like they know way more about sports medicine and everything than I do. And then we're in a world right now to where sports medicine is completely different than it has ever been, in like ever. So like this is a new day and age that we're in, and yet we're having like more and more injuries. It seems like it's just so crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And the crazy part about it, as you say, it was sports medicine. Um, like I said, man, I just want y'all to go to that Mike Davis interview on the Raw Report. He'll tell y'all about strength and conditioning coaches and how, the reason why a lot of them, could not heal probably because they out there just doing crazy stuff. Just got them out there running in the heat. They about to pass out, running up steps, just simple shit, man. I mean, it's just crazy. Y'all just got to go listen to it. But Mike Davis just broke it down. But again, man, not only that, man, when you look at this injury list, man, it's crazy. I I ain't never seen an injury list this. I have seen one this long, but it has been a while. And look, before we get into the injury list, I did get to some Tori McElhaney. She did have this to say about a couple of players. Chris Lindstrom, Matthew Bergeron, questionable, but that don't mean they're going to play. It mean they probably game time decision because Lindstrom and Bergeron have been banged up a lot lately. And Leonard Floyd he's suffering from a hamstring injury. So this is why we keep talking about strength and conditioning because these injuries, they're just not healing like they're supposed to. Um, if you're going to keep these guys out, keep them out. At some point, I just think it's, um, just a money grab. You just put them out there, not, putting their health and health jeopardy. Go ahead. But Drake London and Zach Harrison, they're officially ruled out. And we knew Drake London was out with that knee injury. And Zach Harrison, who's had a knee injury for a while, man. You remember he missed about 2 or 3 games early on in the season. And he came back and, made an impact. But evidently, the knee not healed like it's supposed to. And he's, missing another game. So some of these players, they're just going to have to shut down, for the rest of the season and let them heal properly, man. And at this point, anyway, the season is a wrap at 3-7. You might as well figure out what you're going to do in the offseason and let some of these second, third, even practice squad players get some snaps to see can they, audition
That's
for next year. Yeah, so
that's what I was telling you before, Smitty, about the evaluation process. It's really going to be an evaluation process for the rest of the season. And I look at it, you got guys like Billy Bowman, who's had multiple injuries now in this rookie year. I feel like even though you want to see them, you want to see these guys progress. With the season being at 3-7, you gotta rest most of these guys. I'm not saying that maybe 2 or 3 games more, like toward the end of the year or something like that. At the end of the day, you just gotta go ahead and shut guys down because they're 3-7, and you got to get ready for next year. More importantly, anything. And you can't have this, like you said, those second and third string guys.
Yeah, you just let them play, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it don't turn to preseason anyway. When you look at the rosters, because look, let's be honest about it. Heisman Hill is they're gonna compete with second and third string, all them chumps. But it's a unit number for a reason. Because the first unit they the more talented guys, and really from second all the way to practice squad, they're filling guys that comes in to help the starters. But JT, I don't even think this has nothing to do with his job. I think his job is safe anyway because the front office just incompetent. And the only way he loses his job is Arthur Blank just wake up one day and say, you know what? I got to find a way to fix this thing.
You can wake up one morning and just say F it.
Yeah, but that ain't Arthur Blank.
It's going to happen. Right.
That ain't Arthur Blank though. Emmanuel, what's up, man? You said what's good. One thing Raheem tried to avoid in training camp on having has come back to haunt. Yeah. That's what I
said. That injury is going to happen regardless, bro. It don't matter if you sit guys all year long. If it's meant for a guy to get injured, or if a guy just moves one way and all it takes is one wrong movement and you can be injured. So I just never understood the whole thing about we're going to protect guys. We're going to protect guys. We're going to protect guys. We're going to protect guys.
Man,
We've
bro,
had more injuries in this season right here. And that's not, and it's not on Raheem. Injuries can happen at any given time for any given reason. But it just still, this was what you've been trying to avoid, and you're not avoiding it because it's again, if guys are going to get injured, they're going to get injured. Just like Caleb McGarry, you didn't play him in training camp, right? But still, last training session of the summer, he gets injured for the year.
And you just said what I was going to attack. You can get injured just in doing workouts. Think about a lot of people who get pectoral injuries. That happens in weightlifting. Core muscle injuries. That happens in weightlifting. Hamstring can happen in speed drills. So I mean, look, you don't have to be playing football to get hurt. Sometimes you just get hurt because your body don't, it's wear and tear is what it is. If you've been playing football for a long time, look, injuries can happen at any point. Workouts, on the field, at home, walking down the steps, it just don't matter.
I mean, you look at it, people been in the shower and everything like that, slip and fall in the shower, be injured.
Right. Yes, he
Say
did
something
say
like
that.
that happened to
He said,
Freddie Freeman.
yeah, he did. He did. Injury at home. He missed what, a month or
Oh,
two? Yeah.
remember John Wall walking down his stairs towards Achilles.
Tore it and stepped the wrong way. Yep. See what I'm saying? But
Then,
yeah,
then,
he
then
did say
Mike
that.
Soroka, Mike
Yeah.
Soroka just
Freak
coming up the
injury.
stairs.
Yeah,
Uh,
freak injury.
just coming up the stairs right there at the Braves Stadium. Achilles pop.
Yep. But see, that's wear and tear. Because if it's that simple, they could tear. That means it's been stretched for a long time. And once it keeps stretching to a point, it can't no more. It just pops. And if you see Dr. Child's interview the other day on the knee injury with Penix, as I told y'all before he even said anything, I said, in my opinion, we don't know what the first couple of injuries look like on that knee or those knees. And that bone bruise is probably a result of one of those ACL injuries that, really didn't heal like it was supposed to. And they probably had to take cartilage out. And when they do that, it's bone on bone. And that's how bone bruises usually happen. Because Bo Jackson, he messed his hip up. He couldn't even hardly run no more because his hip was like bone on bone with no ligament for movement. So it's the same with the knee. So it happens. But Ski, yeah, you're right. Raheem did say he was going to watch the hamstring because, it could turn into that. But look what happened. It
Look
happened
what
anyway.
happened. Right. Because again, he was probably rushed back a week or two too soon, man. And then again, we don't know
Yeah,
exactly what workouts, what methods, what active recovery that they're putting these players through.
facts.
So that's another thing. Like it could be the best of the best from us on the outside looking in, but if you get different doctors and different specialists in there and just look at the procedures and just what all the Falcons have these players doing, that could
Fact.
be, it's an asterisk right there and something that you have to address. So it just, again, I'm not a doctor, never will be, probably should have been, but still never will be. But at the end of the day, what we got to figure out is, so
Yeah,
many things, bro. Really, bro, you can have like a laundry list of things that's wrong with this team that needs to be fixed.
facts. But John Brooks, I get what you're saying, my guy. But y'all got to remember, we can all say that they should shut down people for a seat for the rest
That's
of the
not going.
season. But they got clauses in their contract that they have to reach to get their money. So that's why a lot of them, they just fight through the injuries and fight through whatever they got to play. And that's probably why a lot of these other players are coming back early because they know them
Like
incentives in their
Divine
contract.
Diablo.
They don't reason they can probably lose anywhere from $250,000 to $850,000 just like that. And that's a lot of money just to let slip away. And you can't help it because think about it. When you go through these injuries, you got to pay the doctor bill out your pocket. You making that kind of money. So think about it, they had to have surgery or something like that. That's a couple $100,000 out their pocket just like that. Just think about that. It ain't no
Yeah,
insurance policies in football. You got to pay for that out your pocket. So they have to think about these things. So let's see. Let's just see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes.
I,
And
I,
go
I
ahead, go ahead.
look at it with the. I was about to say, I look at it with Divine Diablo. He's playing for another contract, even though I would give him one regardless. But
Right.
I'm just think about it. He wants to be on tape because let's just say his X price, the Falcons say, no, you don't want that. He ain't trying to do that. And then if so, then guess what? He can still got tape on there for other teams. So regardless, he
Yeah.
got what's best for him.
Now, Ski, I get what you're saying about them injuries, man, but I don't think Bijan and those the key starters, they probably won't sit out probably the last two games of the season. They're not gonna sit out this early. They'll probably get them to the last two games, and then once those two games come along, they'll make a decision as to whether they want to play them or not. But honestly, at this point, it don't matter. But at the same time, they got incentives in their contract and clauses in their contract that they have to fulfill. So that's always a downfall. But you said something about a laundry list a little bit earlier. We're gonna take a look at the injury list right quick and see exactly where we at. So this is where we at with the injury report from Falcon Friday. Is where we at. For participation, Divine Diablo, and if y'all notice, If y'all been watching, he has a cast, or air cast on that forearm, and I told y'all that when he got hurt, if he came back, he was going to start with that cast, and his arm is getting there, but I'm pretty sure it's probably about 60 to 70%, not 100. Because those type of them bone injury, them fractures take a while. Because I had fractured my foot, and I had a ledge fracture in my foot, and it took about 8 weeks to, I say 8 weeks, 8 weeks to heal. So it takes a while.
Yeah, you think about it too. It's gonna be interesting to see how he's able to like make tackles. Well, I just want to see like how he's gonna be able to play. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be working back into things, but I'm really honestly ready to see how he's gonna like make the tackle. I mean, I know guys have done it before, but I want to see him.
I mean, he can still wrap up. So I mean,
Right.
it's just what kind of angle he takes. That's what it's all about. Now in coverage might be a different thing. And he can still raise his arm. Don't get me wrong, but coverage probably a little bit harder with that club.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you. You better not come. You better not come through running the ball. Because if you come by Divine Diablo, I hope he club you for real.
Eric Mack, what's up, my guy? D offered concussion. Hughes had had that for a couple of weeks. He's going to try to give it a go, probably. Mike Hughes' neck, he's been dealing with that. Xavier Watts, they don't really state, but it was probably just rest with him. It could be flu or, virus or stomach virus or anything. Malik Vernon, who just got back off of IR, still has a shoulder problem, and that's probably going to linger. Oblique muscle is Brandon Dorless. Like I said, that's probably a weightlifting injury. Matthew Bergeron, who missed the last couple of games, ankle injury. So they get to participate, but it doesn't mean that they're going to play. Someone could be a game time decision, but since they're participating fully, that's a good sign they headed right in the right direction to come back sooner rather than later. Then when you look at limited participation, a lot of these are veterans. They just need to rest. You look at Kate Ellis, he has to rest. His workload gets picked up since Divine Diablo went down. He's an edge rusher. He's a middle linebacker. He's just doing it all. Chris Lindstrom foot. They're probably trying to, keep an eye on that to see if he can go Sunday. Then Jake Matthews, he's getting long in the tooth, so it's just a rest. So
yeah, gotta rest, Jake.
Yeah, so and we still got a little bit more to go.
That Malik Vernon guy, it's gonna be interesting to see what they try to do for him.
Yeah, I would love to see it, man, because at this point, he's another former safety that played. He's another former linebacker that played safety. So he's another one of those versatile guys. Did not participate. Personal matter with Jesse Bates, and I'm starting to think Jesse just fed up with all this shit.
I was just about to say shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you said that, because I was just about to say personal matter. This is a personal matter, man. Jesse may be somewhere with the family looking for another house on in a different state.
Yeah, because look at it, man. Let's think about it. If you go back about 2 weeks when he did that, it was a press conference. I'm trying to figure out which game it was. Who did we play before? It was the Indianapolis game. Going into that Indianapolis game, he was talking, and he was doing a press conference, and he just looked so dejected, like he was just, zoned out. And, he got a right to be like that, because look at what's happening. He's a veteran. He's been around a while. He expected to come here and win. And after that first year, or last year, or what was it, first year, he was killing it, man. He looked like the defensive player of the year. Last year, decent year, but not as good as the first year. And this year, he just completely fell off. Why? Because it's just that he just don't fit what they're trying to do, I guess. So, look, and then the bad part about it, Chris, Justin Simmons didn't even want to come back. Think about that.
Right.
That was a telltale sign. That was a telltale sign how bad the coaching was. But Drake London, his knee, we know he was going to be out, so he did not participate. Joshua Woods last week, hamstring injury. Might be another game time decision, or he might be out as well. We'll know soon. Liam McCullum, personal matter. He probably just needs some time off. Edge rusher, Leonard Floyd, hamstring he's been dealing with since the San Francisco game. So David Onyemata's rest. Zach Harrison knee, who we talked about earlier, who's already deemed out. So look, with these injuries, and this list is about long as Tupac Shakur rap sheet. So it's not gonna get better, man. Trust me, it's not. And we got to endure things like this. And I talked about it a little bit earlier, man. I'm finna show y'all what I put up earlier. Now, Dre, ain't nobody picked up Justin Simmons. He's still a free agent. He's trying to wait to probably try to catch on with a contender at the end of the season. And I don't blame him. Yeah, you won't get full value no more anyway because you're getting up in age. So it happens. Let's see. Oh, what I was going to show y'all about the record that I put up earlier. Y'all talk about the losing that we had to endure. But you just got to understand, this is what went on when I grew up. Yes, I'm that old. But look at this from 83 to 90. 83, I was 4 years old. Really didn't care about football. But when I got to 88, 89, I knew what was going on then. And look at the records. 3-12, 3-11. I'm sorry, 3-12, 5-11, 3-13, 5-11. So this is what we had to endure as young Falcon fans back in the day. So that's why I tell y'all, nice. I'm able to deal with this kind of stuff because I know what losing looks like. So, when you deal with it, don't mean it's right, but you learn how to deal with it and
my thing is I just don't want history to start trying to repeat itself, because
but see the thing about it, man, damn about nothing but the bottom line, it's gonna happen because that's what's wrong with the Smith family. They weren't really worried about putting on winning product on the field because after let's be honest, Barkowski, he suffered injuries throughout his career. Only played about 10 seasons, 11 seasons. Then you look at William Andrews, blew his knee out, missed the season, came back, were never the same. They never tried to replace him. Gerald Riggs, probably the best running back in Falcons history. They end up letting him get away to go to Washington. He, we was in the Super Bowl in Washington. So this is something that we've dealt with, the entire time. This team, has been in existence. We just can't get right. And Manuel say, I think the whole team feeling that. After all, I think the team had high expectations for themselves, and they did. They did. And when you have high expectations and you have what kind of talent you have on the team, and you losing like you losing, oh yeah, that's frustrating. And as I told y'all, that frustration is turned into a virus in the locker room. So. I'm Doug. What's up, man? He said, I'm with you, man. I'm 47. We got used to the bad. Yeah, see, you've been there. Yeah, you just a year older than me, man. So we've been there. And we know what it looked like. When we made it to the Super Bowl, that was just like heaven on earth in 98. We had never seen nothing like it. The whole city was rocking. People driving all down in Miami and everything. People who ain't got no money were driving down there.
Mm-hmm.
So
just to be around it.
Yeah. When you've been around it, I mean, you just know how to deal with it. You just know how to deal with it, man. And that's the God honest truth. I think it's been past due to bring up Chris Blair, Nick Nash out of the practice squad. And but at this point, you try to find any kind of bright light that you can. And again, they fired the wide receiver coach. So I really didn't expect anything else to come of it. They put TJ Yates there, but shit, he a quarterback. Why the hell are you coaching the receivers? And don't get me wrong, players that play football, they probably can coach any position if they put their mind and their time and their effort into it. But I feel like as a quarterback coach, you making y'all got Michael Penix looking as bad as he's looking. Footwork, accuracy issues, and that's some of that he got to work on himself. But as far as the development process, it's not going like it's supposed to. Trust me when I tell you that it's not.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like, oh,
I don't care about the losing. I just want Raheem gone. Every loss we take, it make me excited.
yeah,
That's
and you
messed
think
up.
about guys like Nick Nash. Um, he wasn't going to play this year. I'm starting to think of
Now,
it.
development. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's
development
what
is
I'm
bad.
saying. Like, because you think about Dorless, how guys like Dorless and Roro, they was kind of like on the sideline. Started to see them more so this year. Nick Nash, developmental, like you said. Chris Blair, I just feel like they really just don't believe in Chris Blair. I mean, because what else could it be? I'm saying it's almost December, and we've seen David Steels. We've seen David
But
Steels again. We've
Chris,
even
let's keep it
seen
real.
Dylan Drummond, but
Chris,
we haven't seen any Chris Blair, the guy
right?
that's most experienced. Out of all those guys that I've named, except for David Steels.
Facts, facts.
So
And
it's
think
like,
about it. It really don't matter what the receiver name is or what the skill set is. If you got a good coaching staff, they'll find a way to get them involved. Let's keep it real. If you develop these players like you're supposed to, they will be out on that field. Even if you believe in them or not. If you know they got a particular type skill set, yeah, you drafted them. You kept them on the team, so you feel like you keeping them on the 53-man roster or the practice squad. They can bring something to the team. And a couple of these players on the practice squad won't even sniff the field this year because y'all can't even develop and y'all can't teach them, y'all can't coach them. Let's keep it real. But Smokey, man, I don't see them trade for Shador. The only way I see Shador coming here is if Dion comes here. And honestly, I don't see that, even though I've said it. But after what's been going on the last 8 months in Colorado, hell, he might not even coach again after he leaves Colorado.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility of that, man. Honestly, Dion going through so much personally, professionally, everything. I don't even know if this is even the right thing to do. What I'm saying? Like after Colorado, honestly. So
Yeah.
that's be interesting.
Yeah, they lose to the Saints, man. It don't surprise me because the Saints, even though they got a worse record, they even playing like they got, some kind of heart. They playing, like they ain't got nothing to lose. And sometimes you have to play like that to win football games. And if we lose to a 2-8 team, I wouldn't be surprised because we lost to a 2-17 last year with a winning record. So what's the difference?
Yep. 2-7 last year while we were 6-3. I'm talking about seismic tossed our whole rest of our season.
Right. They gave Kobe Bryant a chance. Why not see what you can get out of Chris Blair and Nick Nash? But they know what they got in Chris Blair because he's been here a while.
Right.
I mean, he was with another coaching staff.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Chris Blair was here last year.
Chris Blair's been on this, been around the Falcons just feels like forever. But it's like, I don't know, again, different regimes. So I'm figuring that maybe the regime, again, just doesn't trust him. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, again, Dylan Drummond, okay. Some David Steels, I kind of understand. All right, veteran guy. But then you go after that. I mean, you got Casey Washington, who we don't like Casey. Why? Okay, Casey Washington is one of those cases to where it's like out of sight, out of mind for real. You actually forget that Casey's on the team unless you just happen to see 82 out there. But I know that he's with injuries,
that's the thing, Chris.
Concussion.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I would just say if he's suffering from concussion like that, y'all need to have a serious talk about him not playing football no more. Because he went out with a concussion in Denver last year, came down the wrong way, and he's been downhill ever since. He's seen the field a couple of times, but he's really not made an impact. So I'm telling y'all, this offseason, you're going to see a lot of shaking and moving. And you're going to see a lot of undrafted free agents coming on this team next year and possibly make this team. Why? Because this front office is a shit show. And look, like I said, if they decide to make a change, which I doubt, it's going to be a high turnover rate on this team.
Yeah,
Damn
it
near
is.
going out the door. It's probably a handful of players that's untouchable. And that's probably Bijan, probably the two defensive edge rushers we got in this year's draft. Um, let me see who else. Chris Lindstrom, he's probably untouchable. Matthew Bergeron is probably untouchable. But everybody else, they could be traded.
Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. It just, ooh boy.
Out in the bloody, he'll get swept by the freaking Bryce Minnie Mouse Clubhouse Young and the freaking kitty cats. Yeah, I mean, look, you let him throw for 448 yards, and I don't think he threw for that much in the previous 4 games combined.
Fam, we are the only team that's keeping this man irrelevant and keeping this man employed. He has so many starts that are bad, but it just seems like he turns
Bro,
into
the week
John
before he had
Elway.
124 yards. He had 124 yards the week before.
I mean, I know it. I know it. That's what I'm saying. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else he play is normal business. But then when he see the Falcons, he's like, oh, like you remember the Water Boy when
Yeah,
the kicker, the black, you know, what I'm saying, the kicker and whatnot, he was looking and he was like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? And then he was like, there's my you know what. And it just
yep,
like that's how it feels playing Bryce Young.
yep.
It seems like he like, all right, look, man, I gotta find a win somewhere, and be like, oh, there go my Falcons.
But Chris, they ain't doing that different. Whatever worked in the previous game, they just run the same scheme over and over. The same thing he did last week, same thing he did in that 30-0 loss. Get outside the pocket, make a throw on the run, or if the run game working, you run it down their throat between the tackles, crack back. And they just not doing anything different. And like I said, with Michael Penix, everybody got film on him now, so they know how to attack him. And they don't know how to make adjustments. So it's just open. It's open season. It's just that simple.
Open season, open sky, all that, bro. It's just inexcusable, man. Overall, at the end of the day, just inexcusable. So we got
Yeah, I'm serious shit. It ain't gonna change no time soon, man. At all.
well, something has to because I mean the fan base deserves more. Fan base, people have been talking all week, within this fan base. So it's like you can't just continue to just turn your nose up at what's going on. I'm not saying that anyone is, but it just you just can't.
Right. Right. Coach's corner said Penix situation just set the team back 3 to 4 years. Can't elevate MPJ yet because his injury will hamper his progression next year. So by the time you really can't contract, he contract up. And I heard somebody say that today, that you really won't know what you're gonna get out of him 2 years down the road, and that's true. Because it'll be his 4th year in the league. And look, think about it. Next year, like he just said, when you look at it, next year is going to be probably half a season because they're going to bring somebody in here to play the first 3 to 4 games at least,
Right.
till that knee heals up all the way, because it's not guaranteed that knee's going to be healed by training camp. That's just what we hoping. And in medical terms, let's keep it real. Medical terms, that knee could be shot. Who knows? And they won't know that till next year.
Well, the saving grace about it is at least it's not the same knee. Because if it was the same knee, I'd be worried about cartilage and all that good stuff like that.
Exactly.
How much cartilage and tissue is around the knee. But since this is the first time on this knee, it's like, okay, well, he should be okay. But we'll still see, man, because at the end of the day, it's still another season-ending injury, man. I hate it for him, and I'm actually wondering about his mental. I'm worrying about Michael Penix Jr.'s mental. I know he got strong people around him, and I know he's persevered. He has perseverance. He's a strong-minded guy. Period. But it's just, how can I not sit here and wonder how he's feeling about having yet another, a fifth season into injury. So it's just like really his fiance and his whole support team is I feel like going to have to work a little bit overtime
Right.
to, remind him of everything he's already overcome and remind him of everything that could be right there in front of him. If, he can stay healthy and all the stuff like that. But it's just an unfortunate situation because just like I said the other day, just like I've been saying ever since the Michael Penix news has come out, everything that you have tried has technically failed now. For the Falcons,
Right.
you tried things with Kurt. Then the ship was.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jew, what's up, man? What's good? You up late, man?
Backup ship coming up out there, and Michael Penix, which is supposed to be the future ship. But so you got to bring it out because a torpedo don't hit the other one. So you got to bring that out a little bit sooner than what you would like to. Now you got to force him out there. There's different things going on with the crew. The crew is messed up. You got a bunch of land lovers out there. So it's just like, I know I'm painting a crazy scenario, but really this is really what happened. So you got Michael Penix now. There's holes in the ship, so now that's sinking. And it's like you already have a ship that's at the bottom of the ocean. And is this going to be yet another one? I still believe in Michael Penix. I still want him to be my future. But at the end of the day, I want $1 million. And I also want a hot wing plate right now. But it doesn't mean I'm going to get everything that I want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just terrible, like the situation again. You know what I'm saying? Prayers up for Michael Penix. Hopefully speedy recovery. But healthy recovery as well. Like I don't want it to be speedy and then he's right back out. And
yeah, but you remember when I said the reason why he don't like to run is because he knew deep in the back of his mind those two ACL injuries just laying in the back of his mind. If he take off running,
I mean he used to be a runner. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like that used to be a part of his game. Like really a part of his game. Like Michael Penix at one point in time, before all the ACL injuries and stuff like that, Michael Penix was working on trying to be like a Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels type. You know what I'm saying? But then when he started having them injuries, he had to start focusing on the mental side of the game, the X's and O's more, and being able to dissect and process. So it's like you go on one way, you got to pivot, and so you go another way. But that could be a good thing for Michael Penix being able to adapt. It's just we have to freaking put the right people around him, the right pieces around him, while he is still on a rookie contract. And if he is not your long-term goal, then let's not kick the can down the road either. Let's not waste the people's time.
We're good at doing that shit.
I'm just saying, bro. Like if there is anybody in that front office, anytime this year or anytime next year, and I'm talking about going all the way throughout the entire season, at any time that they feel like Michael Penix is not the guy, do not kick the can down the road. Go ahead and let's start trying to move forward.
But that's what got them in the situation they in. Think about what they've done with Troy Anderson. They knew 2 years ago he wasn't that guy. But they're going to say, we're going to keep on working with him to see what he's going to do. And what does he do? He's been hurt the last 2 seasons. So sometimes you just got to admit you was wrong and just move on. And that pride won't let them. But DWS, I agree. We could draft a quarterback or get a bridge, but I think a veteran. Or like I said on the video earlier, Stetson Bennett. It's not got nothing to do with Georgia. It got to do with, I know he got hard to play the game. He's not scared to go out there and make plays. He kind of reminds me of a Baker Mayfield type talent. He has 2 national championships, so he's going to win. So, I mean, sometimes you see, that's why I keep telling you, they got to think outside the box. Because we know what Jameis is. We know what Justin Fields is. We know what Russell Wilson is. They washed. Try somebody young and something different, especially if you bring in an offensive coordinator that can use his skill set. And I'm telling you, if Michael Penix had an Andy Reid, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Is Stetson Bennett a free agent?
He's a 3rd-string quarterback, 1 year left on his deal. Jimmy Garoppolo is the backup in Los Angeles.
Right.
So if they put him on a practice squad, anybody can snatch him up.
And I think that's why they haven't put him on the practice squad, because I mean, Sean McVay not dumb. He knows that Stetson Bennett is a talent that he can use. That's why he's not on the practice squad.
Right.
Especially right now, you have him on the practice squad. Falcons looking for a quarterback. I think they go snatch him. I do. For competition, if nothing else, because Easton Stick. Come on now, you already know what happens when you throw in Easton Stick. He gonna pull up and throw a pick. So it's just like I don't want to see none of that, bro. But that's the reality that we're facing. We're facing the fact that we wanted to move off of Kurt in 2 years. It's probably going to be a third year for Kirk Cousins now. As crazy as that sounds, but I guess all that stuff like that, but that's going to be a reality. Then you're going to have Easton Stick as the backup.
Right.
But
think about it, man. $10 million for a backup quarterback, that's about normal these days. That's about normal. But
we've already paid this man plenty of money. So,
$90 million
the numbers
already
don't even matter to me anymore.
Right.
When it comes to
but think about it, man, $10 million, and then the way he tried to force himself out of town this year, you think he's finna put up with that this off season? He gonna raise hell until they left. They push him out the building. So I mean, look. I get what you're saying, Dre, but Jacoby said if on the Cardinals, I don't let him go nowhere. He'll a good bridge until you find a guy you want, because I'm telling you. And even though I said Kyler Murray on that video last week, if you want me to be honest, depending on what coach we get, Kyler Murray could be a quarterback with the Falcons next year. And I hate to say that, but he's a veteran bridge guy. And until somebody comes along in the draft 2 to 3 years down the road, because if we looking this bad this season, what make you think we're going to get better next season? Keep it real. Especially for new staff coming in.
Because we're not going to be drafted in this position anymore.
So they said. Jay Rush, what's up, man? He said, what has to happen for y'all to gain trust back into the organization?
Man,
you don't even want to answer to that.
Where do I begin?
It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. And then start Rich McKay. We keep saying that, and I know the players got to execute. Don't get me wrong, coaches got to coach, but they keep hiring these retreads, and that starts with Arthur Blank, Rich McKay, and Greg Beatles. That's where the problem starts. Everybody knows. I mean, you've been hearing it on shows, podcasts, everything. That's where the trouble starts, upstairs at the top. Cut the head off the snake, as we say.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just, again, you got people making decisions, and I understand, they're in power for a reason, but some of the decisions are just so freaking questionable.
Bro, they can't keep up with the times, man. They won't evolve. They stuck in that 2005 shit. It's 2025. Get with the program. Get somebody young and energetic to be a coach. And Matt LaFleur still young. Yeah, he by my age. So look, it's just stupid, man, and it just dumb.
I feel like we can talk about this until we blue in the face, and it
ain't gonna change.
Right, it just how it just feels. And I mean, even when it comes down all the way down to the Ike Hillard stuff and all that stuff like that, I mean, it is what it is about that. Because we don't know it all behind the scenes, but it just, regardless, it still was a trickle down effect. I feel like, because you had guys who respected him, you had guys who wanted him here, and
yeah, but think about what I've been saying, Chris. Think about it. Every GM in the NFL, well, not every GM, but most GMs, they're only letting them do their job and they don't interfere. Those are the successful teams. Kansas City, Philadelphia, Buffalo. I can go on and on. But teams like Dallas, Atlanta, Miami, teams like that the owner got to interfere. Those are the teams that can't turn around. Even the Detroit Lions, they used to be like that. They had a William Clay Ford was about 90. He was about 93 or 94 when he passed away. But for years, he could not keep his hands out messing with the team. When they brought in Martin Mayhew, they turned it around. He messed it back up again. So now his daughter is running the team, but she got somebody in place doing it. She just sitting back, enjoying life and not worrying about it no more. So, yeah, you just got to, as an owner, you just got to step back and let the front office do their thing and trust them to do their job. Go ahead.
Oh no, I said the Ike Hillard firing and releasing the Ray McLeod.
Yeah, it backfired. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why all the turmoil is going on there. When you see one coach get dogged out, how do you think the other coaches feel that they probably sitting there thinking, well, I might be next, but they screwed him over, they're going to screw me over. So if your coaches on your staff don't trust you, that front office or the head coach, how you expect them to guide these guys in the right direction when they fending for their own lives, when they should be safe and be able to trust in you as a head coach? See, this is why I said he should have hired veteran guys. He wouldn't have had this problem. You hire veteran guys that come in and coach around you. Y'all gonna pick up each other as a collective unit. When you got one veteran guy and then all young guys, well, most of the young guys mixed in. Jerry Gray is not a young guy. Who else? I'm talking about last year. Jerry Gray. Who else? Well, that's about it. Jerry Gray, Raheem Morris. Everybody else, first time coaches, and it just backfired. See, one thing about being inexperienced, it's going to show at some point. It's going to show.
Always does.
Yeah, man. I mean, and then the wide receiver core was strong anyway. It just took, a flick of the wrist to just screw it all up. It didn't take much because you didn't have stability there. And sometime this week, sometime next week, depending on what the outcome of the game is. I got to speak on that Drake London. I can't hold it in no more. I can't. This wide receiver room is decimated. And the only way you may repair it is you have to trade Drake London. Hate to say that.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real with you, Smith. I don't see him doing that. I don't
either, but I'm just saying. You got to go out and get you a number one guy that's a dog. And George Pickens, even though he might stay in Dallas, I would take him over Drake London every day. I'd take Garrett Wilson over Drake London. Drake London is a damn good receiver. But he's a number two possession guy like T. Higgins. He's not a number one. Let's keep it real. He's a number one on this team because we don't have that much talent at receiver. If Kyle Pitts had worked out like he was supposed to, he would be the number one guy. But since he shot the shit too, we got to depend on a number two guy to be the number one. Let's keep it real.
I mean, we'll see, man. Because Drake this year definitely been playing like a number one. But I have said myself too. People have said Drake London is not necessarily a number one. He's just the Falcons' number one receiver. So.
Exactly, because they don't have nothing to push him or nothing to. He has no one to compete with. Hey, Drew. Look, I love Drake London too, but I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just keeping it real. So you feel like on any other team, Drake would be a number one guy? Let's keep it real.
Depending on the team. It really does depend on the team, Smitty, on that one. Because if I send him to the Commanders, he's the number one receiver.
Why? Because they ain't got nobody.
That's even with Terry over there, to me. I'm just saying that's to me.
Terry a little undersized, so I agree with that. So I agree with that.
Oh, the Ravens.
Okay. The Ravens don't have nobody.
I'm just saying.
They best receivers Isaiah Likely and tight end and Mark Andrews. See, you got
I know they
to
got
give.
Zay Flowers over there, but that's the speed guy.
Yeah, he's a slot guy, so he don't count. He's a number 3 at best. I'm trying to pick a team. Okay. Put it like this. He goes to Seattle with Jackson Smith and Jigba, the rookie. Is he a number 1 guy then? He goes to Tampa without Mike Evans, and you got Chris Godwin, you got Ibuka. Is he a number 1 then?
Number 1 on Tampa. You said with Mike Evans gone?
Without Mike Evans.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
So you're gonna take him over Ibuka.
Ibuka's new. We got to make sure Ibuka's not a flash in the pan on 1 year.
Yeah, that's
true. We got to see multiple years of it, though. We got to take that in consideration. But
would you take him over CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens?
Maybe CD, but I don't know about George Pickens though. I think I'll take him over CD because I think that Drake is a tougher receiver. I mean, CD got the speed. Yeah, he's talented. Yeah, but I just feel like he's Drake is a better blocker. I feel like Drake is a tougher receiver again. Still a playmaker, but I mean, George Pickens, he's just a dog. I'm sorry, man. People can say what they want about his mental and all that stuff like that, but that guy's a dog.
You'll take Drake over George Pickens. Come on, man.
No, I said I'll take
that was he said he'll take Drake over George. Man, come on. Let's be real, Screwball. If George Pickens didn't have those off the field problems, if he didn't tear his knee up and had an ACL injury, he's a top 5 pick. Let's keep it real. Now he showed y'all he averages about 16, 17 yards a catch average for his career. He's one of those. He can run any route in the route tree. He can beat you deep. He can beat you over the middle. He's a good run out to the catch guy. He just yeah, exactly. Eric Matt. He got Julio potential. He just can't keep his head on straight.
Yeah.
Compensation. I'd probably say for Drake, probably a 2nd round pick. Cause think about it. He's in his 4th season. He's only had 1,000 yard season, and that was last year.
Shit, if it'll be this year though.
And that's not all his fault.
If he comes back, I think he gets 1,000 yards if he comes back this year. Because I mean, regardless, he the offense.
You trust him to get 1,000 yards with Kirk Cousins at quarterback?
Well, I mean, shoot, I'm pretty sure.
He on the turn, bro. Think about it. Kirk Cousins only nowhere near as strong as Michael Penix. I said Matt Ryan had a chicken tender arm.
Of course, but hear me out.
Kirk Cousins got a popcorn chicken.
He only needs 190 yards to get 1,000.
Oh, well, yeah, he'll get that. Yeah, he'll get that easy.
That's what I'm saying. So I said, if Drake comes back this season, I think he gets that 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
because his worst games.
This year, 824. So yeah, 824. So yeah, he only need 176. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm like Kirk Cousins can force feed him that in 2 games.
Man,
I don't trust him. No, but I'm just saying, we'll see, man. It's gonna be interesting.
And Zach Robinson play calling, man.
Always got to factor that in.
Like I said, that dude can't even make a damn collect call. But I can go on about this all night, man. But yeah, the injury list is out. 50-50 balls, Drake is that dude. But like I said, when you talk about taking the top off the defense, being able to run every route in the tree, And then if y'all ever knows when Drake catch a ball, he fall. You're not gonna get that from George Pickens. He gonna fight to the end. He gonna try to jump over your ass if he can. So you gotta have that dog mentality, man. And that's what George Pickens has. And you got to be born with that.
Right.
London is a finesse possession receiver. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But if we had a number one to go with Drake London, I'd love to still have him as number 2. And honestly, if he gets T. Higgins money, I'd go out and still get a number 1. If I could. I'd call Arizona and see what they want from Marvin Harrison because they ain't using him. They destroying that boy career. I knew that was a bad fit. Even though I knew he was going to go there, I knew that was a bad fit. Why? Because Kyler Murray don't even want to be there. See, you can't put a square peg in a round hole. It's just never going to fit. But
yeah,
that's neither here nor there. Like I said, injury report is out. Sunday is a 4:25 game. And Sunday is a 4:25 game, and we'll probably be on about 7. So until then, man, I know we got to get up and go to work in the morning, and we'll see y'all in a little bit. But right quick, Juice, how you feel about having a better number 2 receiver with Drake?
Oh shoot, we love it.
I wouldn't mind having it, but who is it gonna be?
That part.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be somebody in the draft or a free agent, but it ain't gonna be nobody of substance because everybody getting their contracts, and I think the Steelers made a mistake signing DK Metcalf, and that's gonna come back to bite them.
Oh,
but,
DK.
It's neither here nor there. But yeah, if he gets us a number 2 receiver, he'll be fine. Because I thought that was Mooney was gonna be until all hell broke loose in the wide receiver room. But like I said, that's another story for another day. But again, we'll see y'all on Sunday at after the 4:25 game. So it'll probably be about 7:30. Because Chris, I think he's gonna be working the game, so it may be a little later. We'll see how. Yeah, man. We're gonna holler at y'all, man. You got
New Orleans.
Oh yeah. So we'll be on right after the game then. So we just had to stop and get y'all injury reporting and take a couple of y'all questions, talk a little football. But y'all have a good night, man. We'll see y'all. Well, good morning, and we'll see y'all soon because we're just gonna talk about Falcons. Y'all go ahead and check out our channel, man. Check out the video we dropped, and don't forget to hype up our videos to help us get through the YouTube universe. And we're gonna holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
Peace.